Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Views from the Sideline. It's our first one in quite a few weeks, but oh my God, this might be the craziest week of NBA basketball that I've ever lived through. I'm here joined with Anush through Zoom, and we're just gonna try and recap,
All right,
all
just
the
talk.
craziness.
Let's just talk. Let's get straight into it. Let's start with the Lakers like we always do. I think this trade changes everything. Let me tell
Okay,
you
wait,
why.
wait. First, we gotta outline the trade a little bit. Um,
Okay. So
there were multiple Lakers trades too. So Russell Westbrook,
Russell
Russell
Westbrook
Westbrook,
for
Juan Toscano
D'Angelo
Anderson,
Russell,
Damian.
Malik Beasley, and Vanderbilt, and then you got rid of Pat Bev for Mo Bamba. Those are the two big trades I can think of. I think those are the only two that happened.
And Thomas Bryant was sent away for
Thomas Bryant sent away, but they didn't get anything back. They got some like a role player. And they got a couple of second round picks. But I think that's just for like the future. I guess that doesn't really matter. They just lost Thomas, which I am sad about. Thomas Bryant was a good player. He was solid.
He was doing really well when AD was injured.
Yeah, so I'm sad about that. But I do think there's like other like financial like pick reasons that they did that. So I'm not gonna get into much of that. But the main one, the Westbrook trade, was so good. Getting rid of Westbrook off that contract is off that team. Him as just the players off that team. And then you get D'Angelo Russell, who can space the floor. He's streaky, but he can space the floor. He can shoot it. Then you have Malik Beasley, who can shoot it. And then you have Vanderbilt that can play defense on the perimeter. So the Lakers are missing what? Perimeter defense and shooting. They got both of that back. And then Mo Bamba needed a center. They got Mo Bamba, and he can shoot through. He can stretch the floor. He can shoot threes. So then AD can go back to the four that he likes playing at, and then you have Mo Bamba at the 5, D'Lo at the 1, and then LeBron AD. So
I think it was like the Lakers. I was surprised. Like I was surprised that all this happened so quickly, and I think it was really good for them because right.
The D'Lo trade was they gave up Westbrook and a first round pick for 3 solid players. It's like that was a very good trade. Like
they also gave up Damian Jones, Juan Toscano Anderson, but neither of them were really getting minutes.
They don't matter. Yeah, they're just role players that didn't really like help that much. So that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So Lakers overall definitely got better.
Yeah, but I also think that they have to play AD at the 4. They have to.
They have
Mo Bamba.
Mo Bamba not even an option. 5, 80 at the 4. And 80 has to stay healthy. 80 has to stay healthy. If he doesn't stay healthy, then this entire thing just falls apart.
No, literally. And also, what's it called? Because before they had Thomas Bryant, right? Thomas Bryant's very bulky, 7-foot traditional center. He couldn't really stay on. He wasn't really good on defense while having AD at the 4. Like it was too clunky to have both of those guys. He was a defensive liability. But then you have Mo Bamba, who's known for his defense, who's very lanky, can block shots, can move kind of well in the perimeter. I think you
can stretch the floor, and then
you have to keep it. You have to keep him in that. Honestly, put him in that starting lineup because I think 80 at the 4 is when they're the best.
So I know they have a good starting lineup, and then off the bench you can get Vanderbilt off the bench. They can get
Hachimura,
Austin Reeves when he's back. Like they have some guys off the bench that they can play. So they have a good team now. I think they can get to the 8th seed to play, hopefully, and then play in and just see what happens in the playoffs. But I think this team if they get to the playoffs, can do something.
Yeah,
before the Suns got KD. Now it's just I don't know.
Oh my God. So I guess we could go into that one too. So Lakers good trade. We'll see how they did. We'll see how they do. They're 5 games under 500 right now, 13 seed, but they can. I think we're very positive about what they could possibly do, right? Overall, but I mean, I think we know who's going to probably win the West as of right now. If Kevin Durant comes back healthy, I think we know who's going to win the West.
Yeah, I know.
And that is going to be the Phoenix Suns.
The Nets. They could have gotten way more for KD than what they actually did. Rudy Gobert went for 5 first-round picks. KD, they only get 3 back because this is the team that all they're doing is picks. They're blowing it up. They're blowing up that entire roster and they're restarting. So they need picks. Only 3 first-round picks is abysmal. If they literally waited till the summer, because they just might as well just let them play out that year and then wait till the summer, they could have gotten 5 first-round picks. I feel like they was waited. They could have gotten a lot more back for KD. Because if Rudy Gobert is giving you 5 first-round picks, then what they got for KD is honestly not enough. They could have gotten a lot more for KD.
So. Yeah, because KD, Rudy Gobert, okay, 3-time defensive player of the year, but there's a lot of questions surrounding him, how good he is in the playoffs.
KD's a top
Kevin Durant is an all-time great, one of the best scorers of all time. I feel like they honestly traded him for way too little.
Way too little. And then the Suns, they get to keep their core, the Ayton, Booker, and CP3 core. They just add KD into that. This team it's not the Warriors team. It's not as good as that team, but still a solid team. That KD Warriors team will never. I don't know team will ever be as good as that KD's Warriors team. The team.
Yeah, but I think it was a great move. It was a great move for the Suns. Like, honestly, I did not see that coming at all.
Yeah. So
Right.
and also like the Nets, like they had like we even talk about the Nets. We all talk about the Nets are gonna like the next Warriors. Harden, KD, Kyrie. They won one playoff series as a whole. That's all they can.
And that was KD too. Harden and Kyrie were constantly injured throughout that series.
Harden was injured and Kyrie was on some. I don't know what Kyrie was doing. So like this team, like how they assembled it, blown up is insane. And it's crazy. The Nets had another super team. Remember that Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett thing they tried doing? That failed. And then they tried it again with some other players that failed. So the Nets just have to just restart. And they're stuck with Ben Simmons. So they're probably gonna trade Ben Simmons. There's no
that Ben Simmons contract is ugly. They paid him $40 million a year.
I think Ben Simmons honestly will go for maybe what. But the thing is, I think is Ben Simmons viewed as Russell Westbrook, where you have to give a pick away to get him off your team. Because the reason Russell
probably at this point, yeah.
So I think because maybe like 2 years, like not 2 years ago, you could get like 3 first-round picks from Ben Simmons like 3 years ago, like when he was like
he had value. He had value.
He had value, right? Now he's a terrible contract, and at this point, people view him as a terrible player. So you had to give Ben Simmons and a pick to get and just get him off your team.
I mean, even think about it. Think about like a year ago, right? He had value. They traded James Harden for Ben Simmons.
Yeah, exactly. He had value. Now he's no value anymore. He's seen as like a Russell Westbrook, where it's like just a bad contract player. That's all he is, just a bad contract.
Yeah. So minimal production, injured constantly, doesn't really show up to in general. And so I don't know. The Nets are wild. And also, speaking of their blowing up their team, they did also trade Kyrie Irving earlier in the week to the Dallas Mavericks.
But I don't think that changes much for Dallas. I think Dallas is still going to be a 5th, 4th seed team, whatever they are. Maybe win one playoff series and then exit. Because I feel like Kyrie doesn't because they already have the scorer, ball handler, and Luka. Kyrie just adds to that, but they don't have because they need more people. One player is not going to solve the Mavs. They need a lot of players around Luka to help out. So I think Kyrie helps a little bit, but I think it's going to be the same. Just one playoff series and done.
Yeah, I think it's because
especially on the Suns, then the Grizzlies are done. Remember John Morant?
Nuggets.
Remember Grizzlies said he was. Do you remember John Morant did an interview, right? And the person asked him who you were about facing. He said the Celtics, right? And then she asked anybody in the West. He said he's good in the West. They're not good in the West anymore. I'm the Grizzlies. They're not good in the West anymore. The Suns are better. I think honestly, I think Lakers are better now because with the police people they got.
I think the Lakers could be better, but I don't know if they will be.
They could. They're the potential better, but I don't know because LeBron's just playing so well. He's giving you an efficient 30 a game. If 80, remember that stretch where 80 was going to 40, 50, 40, 35, 40.
Yeah.
That 5-game stretch. If you can play like that, D'Lo can space the floor. They got defensive Vanderbilt. Malik Beasley can shoot it. They've solved a lot of problems. So I think that team can. Austin Reeves will come back. He's a solid role player. Hachimura is a solid role player. They have a good roster now. So I think they can go.
Yeah, definitely. But going back to Dallas a little bit, do you think they're? So you don't think they're gonna? What round do you say they kind of max out at with the Kyrie Irving trade?
If they win one round, they bounce in the next. So they're the second round team. That's it.
So who do you? So you see them losing to? You see them losing to the Nuggets, like someone like the Nuggets.
No. Okay, Nuggets are my one fraudulent team. Anybody but
really?
I see them, the Grizzlies. I see them losing to the Suns, the Clippers, any of those teams.
I think the Clippers are also very the Clippers aren't good right now, and neither are the Warriors. But in the playoffs, they'll find a way. They'll rate their ship.
Because these are experienced guys. In the playoffs, the Lakers are going to be better than what they are. The Warriors are going to be better than what they are. The Clippers, actually, I don't know the Clippers, but the Suns but the Warriors and Lakers are just going to play up. So, and I don't think Mavericks are going to be that good because I feel like Kyrie helps, but not as much as I think it will.
Yeah, and also I don't.
There are a lot of fraudulent teams in my opinion in the West. I don't
think they're fraudulent. I think they're just young. They're young.
They're young. They don't have experience. They're young without experience. So I think the Kings are not going to go that far. They're going to be third seed, but they're not going to go as far. I think they'll lose to the Clippers right now. As the playoffs start tomorrow, they lose to the Clippers.
Yeah, I think Clippers healthy Kawhi Leonard, healthy Paul George versus De'Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis, and that Kings team. I think the Clippers could win. Pretty. I think they could be even considered sneaky favorites just because of the experience. The Kings haven't made the playoffs since 2006.
Yeah, but I feel like the West is the Suns is gonna be so hard to beat. At this point, it's injury.
Yeah, the crazy thing is when I saw that Suns trade, I was like, oh wow, Kevin Durant's gone, right? So they must have traded Chris Paul. They must have traded DeAndre Ayton. Neither of those guys are
I
gone.
thought
They're still on the
they
team.
lost no one. They lost one good player to Bridges, but you just replace him with KD, so that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for Bridges though. Like I do feel bad for Bridges. Like he was a fan favorite. I liked him a lot.
And what
But
happened in the East? Anything big happened in the East?
the
I feel like
East was
nothing
honestly
happened. Nothing happened in
the
the
East
East.
was
The
pretty
Nets just lost
the
half
East
their
was pretty
team.
quiet.
Yeah, the East is quiet, but I think the East is pretty locked up in my opinion. The Celtics are
I think
Bucks.
the Celtics have it. Yeah, yeah.
Celtics or Bucks. I think the Bucks have it simply because like Giannis and then just like playoff experience, I guess you could say. But I think I'm just saying just based off Giannis. But I think the Bucks Celtics, that's pretty much like clear cut. I used to say
Yeah.
76ers because I thought Harden would eventually start playing up to Harden, but Harden is no longer like honestly, he's even a top 20 player at this point. So Harden is pretty, it's like the 76ers, I think, are done. So
Really, you say Harden? I disagree. I think Harden's actually like 24-11, right?
yeah.
I feel like that's like easily top 15. But the reason why I
No,
agree with
no,
you on the Sixers
averaging
point is
21 and 11.
that's good.
It's good, but I think there's a lot of talent in the league right now. Like if I went through the
That's
list,
true.
let's get like I say I'd rather have Jokic right now. I'd rather have Ja Morant, De'Aaron Fox, low key. You'd rather have Luka. You'd rather have KD, Booker. You'd rather have Kawhi. You'd rather have like there's so many players you can just name off and going off these teams that I'd rather have than James Harden.
Yeah, yeah. And also the thing about the Sixers is like I see them second round exit because, for example, 2 nights ago, I mean, I don't read too much in regular season games like that, but 2 nights ago, the Celtics, Jason Tatum had 12 points. Their leading scorer was Grant Williams with 19. And the Celtics, Jaylen Brown was out. He left early with injury. The Celtics still beat the fully healthy Philadelphia
The
76ers.
Celtics defense would just lock you up. That's the thing. Like, if Jason Tatum can have a bad night, but their defense was to lock you up. That's the issue with some of the other teams. Like the Lakers can't defend anyone. So like LeBron can drop like 40 points efficiently and still lose the game because of
Like for example, okay, we can kind of use this as a transition. Like LeBron did break the scoring record. Also this week, we forget we all talk about all this trade deadline stuff. LeBron also broke the scoring record this week. He's the all-time leading scorer in the NBA, passing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And even in that game itself, they let the Thunder drop 133 and lost.
I thought at least the Lakers had some respect and win that game, but they played no defense. It's no defense. Like OKC, like what? The 20 they hit every three on them. Like they don't.
Yeah, they shot like 50% from three.
Exactly. It's like the perimeter defense was a big issue, but they got some people back that can help with that. So we'll see how this goes.
I just have even LeBron in that game, I remember visibly. I mean, I know it's LeBron. He's tired. He does 90% of he carries like most of the offensive load on that team, even with AD sometimes. But like even I was putting just no effort on defense. Like I remember these young Thunder players were just driving to the basket, getting layup after layup after layup in the fourth quarter of the game. Like,
but they can't ask LeBron to do the entire offensive load and then also do half the defense.
That's true.
His entire energy is just running that entire offense because they have nothing else on that offense that they can do. So they're in a very tough spot.
Yeah. But
they felt stuck, but I think they're done with Westbrook. They out of that contract. I feel they can like start going places now.
I definitely agree. I think everybody was harping on Rob Pelinka, and yeah, he shouldn't have listened to Blind. He shouldn't have made that stupid move of getting Russell Westbrook in the first place. But he did do a good job. He possibly may have fixed his mistakes. Very possibly.
They better make the playoffs. They're probably gonna lose tonight because nobody's playing. Like LeBron's not playing. It's nothing. They play the Bucks. But I think they need if they can just sneak into that play-in spot, I think they can make some noise in the playoffs. Like I think they could beat the Nuggets in the playoffs. I think they're losing the playoff series with this new look Lakers. So
yeah, no, I think like a 6-game winning streak, like winning like 7 out of 10 games, they're back in that play-in spot. They just got to go on a run, and I think it's possible after the All-Star break, but we'll see if it happens. And kind of going back to the LeBron all-time scoring thing, I just want to ask you if that like changes anything about his greatness or his legacy. Does that affect anything?
He's been the GOAT for some time now, so it doesn't change it for me. Because like the people that don't think he's the GOAT, nothing's gonna change that until he wins like 6 rings, which is probably not gonna happen. So I think we're kind of spot right, like where people that already think he's the GOAT is gonna stay he's the GOAT, and people that don't think he's the GOAT is probably just gonna stay not think he's the GOAT. Unless he wins, like if he wins this year and like next year has 6 rings, then somehow some crazy way, then I think it's like clear cut. Like there's no debate anymore. If he gets 6 rings, there's nothing to debate. He has every stat, every record, everything. Just the rings, he has everything.
No,
So
if LeBron had, I think even 5 rings. If LeBron has 5 rings, I think it's
he
like
wins it this year. So not this year, but he wins it with probably this year, next year. Probably the only two chances I think he has left. He's the GOAT in your eyes.
I think easily because like you can't. Okay, yes, he's lost those finals. He's had those career lows that Jordan didn't have. But like you can't harp a guy for getting to the finals. You know what I mean? Like what is he supposed to lose in the
It's
second round
crazy that
instead?
this narrative has changed. Where it's like it's better to lose in like the second round than it is to in the finals. People
I
people
know.
don't understand. It's hard to get to the finals itself. So we're getting there like obviously he's been there 11 times, right? This game
10 times so far. 10, 4 and 6.
4 and 6,
Yeah.
10 times. That in itself is a crazy accomplishment. So,
Yeah, exactly. So I think this record just kind of I agree with you. I think LeBron's been my goat too
and
for
also
a
going
few
to the
years now.
NBA, like I just like thought about today, is that how picks are so worthless. People just give up 5 first-round picks like it's nothing. Again, for example, in the NFL, 5 first-round picks will get you like a generational talent. Like you get
No,
like
5 first-round picks would probably get you like
you
the
could get
best,
Justin
like would get you
Herbert.
Patrick Mahomes.
You not Mahomes, relax. Okay,
Like
Mahomes fine.
no, I mean like
But you
genuinely
could get
top
like
10
Justin
player.
Herbert. You could get like a top, like like a Justin Herbert, like a top player for 5 first-round picks easily.
Yeah.
In the NBA, 5 first-round picks to Rudy Gobert. Like in the NBA, picks are just worthless. People just throw picks out there.
No, even for Kevin Durant, we talked about it. They said 3 first-round picks, 1 first-round pick swap, and we were like, that's not enough for Kevin Durant. You know what I mean?
Because I
Like,
think picks in the NBA are just not as valuable as in like other sports. I think picks just like don't
yeah,
matter.
yeah. And kind of speaking about picks, like, the Warriors also kind of made some sneaky moves during the deadline. They got back Gary Payton II
Yeah.
from the Blazers for
They
some
got rid
picks,
of-
and
they
they
got rid-
also shipped off.
Yeah.
They sh-
Their former second overall pick, James Wiseman.
they said I was just gonna because we were talking about first-round picks. They shipped off James Wiseman to the Pistons.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on that kind of era of
I think
basketball, the
it was
James
just a
Wiseman
bad
era?
pick. Imagine that team picked LaMelo Ball, who LaMelo Ball. I feel so bad he's on the Hornets because he's such a fun player to watch. He's solid. He's averaging 23, 6, and 8 right now. He's like shooting pretty well. Like he's 36% from 3, not bad. But like if they just like picked like if they imagine they had a good pick at number 2, how unstoppable that team would be. Because they would have like another like you would say like an all-star level player if they would have picked LaMelo Ball, and they have Curry, they have all these people, but that they just blew the James Wiseman pick. So
No, I think they honestly like okay, logically it made sense because like the center position is like they had Clay, they have Curry,
yeah,
they have
yeah.
Draymond, they have Wiggins. Like the center position is their weakest position,
You
so
know
they
how
were
much a
like, oh, let's
lot?
draft a center.
I think in a lot of times I just go with best available. Because people like remember who went? Remember when Katie went second and Portland picked? Who they picked? It was Greg Oden, I think, because they picked
Yeah.
number 1. They argued like, oh, they needed a center. They didn't need like the forward. But I think you always just go with the best overall player, no matter what you need.
Yeah, because you can also trade off.
You can also trade
like
exactly. Let's say for example, right? The Warriors had LaMelo Ball, right? They picked LaMelo Ball. I think they're willing to trade away like some of their players like fit around that team better. So like they would have worked itself out. That's the thing. You just go best available instead of just like
yeah, I mean,
have to pick this center.
yeah, and even in the same draft, right? Number 12, Tyrese Halliburton was
Halliburton. Yeah.
They could have taken Halliburton. I mean, I know he's 12 picks down, so it's unlikely that any team would have been top 10. But Cole Anthony, even Killian Hayes, you know, there were definitely some picks that they could have made here that I think would have panned out way better than.
Bro said Killian Hayes, bro. I'm not gonna lie, you missed with that. Killian Hayes.
What I missed?
That bro, Killian Hayes is not good.
I think Killian Hayes.
Bro, he averages 10 points on 38% shooting. He's a shot chucker, bro. He's inefficient. You don't need this.
I know. But he's had like, I feel like, I actually, you know what? I'm gonna concede this one honestly. I like Killian, so I feel like if he just gets another year, just kind of settle in, I feel like he'll go somewhere. But also realistically, he's been doing this for 3 years now. The Pistons aren't a very good team. Cade Cunningham's out, so he's like their lead player. I can agree with that.
Jazz have now 12 first-round picks, so like the Jazz are just an abundance of picks.
The Jazz have so many picks,
and they have Lauri Markkanen. They have like a good.
Yeah, Lauri Markkanen's in the All-Star game.
Yeah, so they have like they'll have a bright future. Remember when everybody thought the Timberwolves have a bright future after they got Andrew Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns, but it just never panned out? Because remember Andrew Wiggins was supposed to be the next coming of LeBron or something.
Yeah. Well, I think Wiggins he's a good player now.
He's a good player, but he's not that like top 10 player that everybody thought he would be. He's not that superstar.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think like he had potential and he was living up to it, but then it just kind of went downhill. Like that whole Jimmy Butler era, remember when Jimmy Butler's like yelling at the Timberwolves players and beating them with the bench?
Remember when that Timberwolves team, what they could have done something. I think they lost in game 7, but they were good. And remember that 76ers team that Jimmy Butler. I feel like they should have won the finals that year. They were better than the Raptors, but Kawhi, that lucky bounce, whatever that happened.
Lucky bounce, bro. Come on, that's
a lucky bounce. That's a lucky.
It's lucky, but like it's still the
3 over Joel Embiid, bro. Like that's like probably the worst shot selection you could have. And he just got.
But I don't know. You gotta give him some credit.
Also, D'Angelo Russell reunion on the Lakers. Remember, we got shipped off the first time. For the Nick Young thing. I think that's where they traded him, right? Because that whole thing happened with the team drama. So that's nice seeing him back in the Lakers uniform. He's a 40% 3-point shooter, so I definitely think that's gonna help the Lakers a lot. So just I wish they gotten Kyrie, but you see the thing where like the guy was like the Nets owner did not want to trade Kyrie to the Lakers, so because I think the Lakers could have gone them like just maybe not more, but like a good offer. So
yeah, no, I think. Okay. Also, here's the thing. I think LeBron. Okay, I will. This is one thing I'm gonna get LeBron on LeBron for is he's very hypocritical in some ways. Like he was like, because he has these ESPN interviews where he talks about like the roster construction, about how like he wants certain players, and he's like, no, but my focus is in the locker room. But then he's literally sending out tweets like that he's disappointed that Kyrie Irving wasn't. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like he's sending out tweets like maybe
it's also one of those things where like they know this team is the 13th seed in the West. Nobody, they're grown men. They're not stupid. None of them think that LeBron is happy. Nobody think Anthony Davis said himself. Remember when Anthony Davis, like everybody was like, oh, why? Remember when he sat down when LeBron hit his game, like his the record-breaking shot he hit. Everybody's like, what's wrong with Anthony? It's like that team, they're like the superstars are not happy on that team. So it's like it's very like even he goes without saying that like, oh, he wants trades to be done. He wants half these players gone. So I don't think
you should say it out loud. Like it completely kills the vibe.
Like, they're grown men. They know what everybody's thinking. It's like that's not like a 12-year-old basketball team, like a bunch of kids. Like they know the league. They know how it works. They know LeBron's expectations. Like you think Russell Westbrook thought that, oh my God, this team loves me. Like he's on Twitter. He sees social media. He knows everything about him. Every Lakers fan has been wanting him gone for the past year now since he ever got on that team. So like nobody was happy with that trade. Nobody wanted him to be a Laker. So I feel like LeBron saying that is just like it's like just stating the obvious that like trades need to be done.
Yeah. I definitely agree. I mean, no, I disagree. What am I talking about? I disagree with this thing. I think the chemistry is extremely important in the locker room. Like, yes, okay, they're 13th seed, they're bad. Russell Westbrook is not performing well at all right now. I mean, he's had his stretches where he's good. He has stretches where he's bad. But in general, he's not the performance that they expected from him. But like, you want to have chemistry and you want to try and build towards something. You don't know.
Exactly. Build chemistry with this team, a team that they've played a good amount of games. Westbrook, LeBron. The team was not working. Like you're saying, building chemistry. They built chemistry. They tried to build chemistry. It has not worked. So LeBron saying get him out of here is not being like. They're 13th seed. No team that has LeBron James and Anthony Davis should be a 13th seed. Obviously, there are issues and trades need to be done.
Yeah, but like, do you think that the players should be the one?
He's easily a top 5 player. Anthony Davis, when he's healthy, a top 10 player. You can't have 2 of these guys on your roster and be a 13th seed and just try to build chemistry. You have to build a new team around them. You can't just stick with the chemistry stuff keeps like the Rockets and the Spurs, like the Thunder that have like really no like I guess to say like no playoff run in them. They're just having fun developing players. That's where chemistry matters. For a team with like a win now mentality, LeBron's he's old. He's 38 now, like right? LeBron's 38, right?
LeBron is 38 years old or 39.
He's 30. No, he's 38, right?
38. Okay.
38-year-old LeBron, you can't be waiting to build chemistry. You need to win now. Every season like a win now season. Like LeBron he won't be dropping 30 for the next 5 years. There's a window and it's like closing, so they need to start like making moves.
I know, I agree with all those statements. But do you think like the players themselves that are on these teams should be the ones like telling the media like why can't they just have those conversations in private with their GMs like Rob Pelinka? Why can't like Katie and Kyrie just be talking to Sean Marks and SDM instead of like saying it
That's what he's
publicly?
voicing is like I think they definitely tried that. But I think if going to the media and voicing his concerns publicly, I think there's no way LeBron has not gone to Rob Pelinka and like and been like after in the first like 5 games we started 0-5 like hey this isn't working, switch it up. And hopefully they like, and honestly I feel like the coach like what was the last coach, what was his name again?
Frank Vogel.
Yeah, Frank Vogel. I feel like he was a good coach. They didn't because it was the roster that's the issue, not Frank Vogel. Because they've had pretty much the same roster this year. They they added very little to it. It's the same record. So I feel like they should have kept Frank Vogel and just.
Well, yeah, the Lakers' principal problem was that they took that champion squad and they immediately did not re-sign and retain every player.
They won a championship. The next year, they were up on the Suns, 2-1, then Anthony Davis got injured. There is no reason to blow up that team. But they blew it up.
No reason.
In the playoffs. So
like they shouldn't have let Caruso walk. Should not have traded. The Russell Westbrook trade was awful. From the Lakers'
perspective, trade was probably the best thing they could have done at that time. That Buddy Hield trade when the one that they declined to get Russell Westbrook was what they should have done. They got Buddy Hield. And
do you think? Okay. Let me ask you this question. Yeah. Do you think that the Buddy Hield trade would have been a better trade than the D'Lo trade?
No, because Buddy Hield will always be the best player to fit in that system, but they also got Vanderbilt and Beasley, who like Beasley can score, he's a shooter, and then Vanderbilt can play defense. So they got three. Like these are 3 players that will get minutes. They're all the 3 like rotation guys. So like,
but I think the idea, I think Miles Turner was also supposed to be included in that. But I don't. But here's the thing about that one. I don't think that if they ever like actually formulated the trade completely, Miles Turner would have been in it because actually Miles Turner signed an extension with the Pacers for like 4 more years just this season. So I don't think he was ever going to be actually shipped off.
I think he could have because I think because of the contracts, like they didn't get like salary caps to match, but he could have been shipped off. But Russell Westbrook signed that extension with the Thunder. It was the biggest extension. It was like a 5 year, and it's like the biggest extension at the time. And he's been on 4 different teams in 5 years. So like I think that would have mattered.
Oh yeah, you're kind of speaking of Westbrook. I guess we can talk a little bit about him. Do you think that he's going to be like? Where do you think is he going to stay? What do you think? The Jazz are buying him out, right? He's going to
be like a 6-man off the bench player unless he goes to the team like the Rockets or the Spurs, like a bottom of the barrel team. But if because obviously the Jazz are going to buy out his contract with this, what they're saying. So I think he'll go to like a contending team off the bench. That is what it'll be. He'll be like a bench role player. Do you think?
Yeah, but like, what team do you see? Like, I don't see a team specifically that needs a Russell Westbrook. Really,
nobody wants Russell Westbrook on their team. So I don't know if we'll get any offers.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be a really interesting one to see. Like, does Russell Westbrook get offers this year?
I don't think. Because I think no championship team would want him on that roster.
No, there's no. I don't see any championship.
I don't see any championship team wanting him. So I think he just goes to like a team like a bottom of the barrel team, just to I guess like literally just hoop and have fun. Like he's not gonna be part of anything meaningful, and like for like a good roster.
Yeah, because he's too ball dominant, and his play style doesn't really work very well with.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't
with a lot of the current teams. I think, and also just the fact that he can't shoot is just a huge like negative.
Yeah, he can't space the floor is what you like, especially what you need from like a point guard because he just clogs the paint. So
if he was the main guy, then it's okay, sure.
Yeah, he's the main guy, but he can't be like a fourth, like he'd be the 3rd guy on the floor. I guess you could say
maybe even 4th or 5th sometimes.
Yeah,
some of these championship teams.
Exactly. So he can't. Angels in that $47 million contract, and then like obviously the diva stuff. I guess you could say. Because I'm not saying he's a diva, but obviously a guy that was once an MVP is obviously not going to be happy playing like a very, very small role. Obviously, he's going to have some issues, like wants to have the ball, want to get minutes.
Exactly.
So I don't think any championship would want to add that to their roster. So
yeah, I definitely agree.
And then
I mean, okay, so I just kind of want to recap. Who can you give me your top 5 in both? I know the East hasn't really changed from this trade deadline, but let's still. I mean, it changed a little bit. The Nets are obviously going to fall, but give me your top 5 in the East and top 5 in the West after the trade deadline, like just on paper with everything we have.
Okay, so top 5 in the West. Give me the Suns, obviously.
No, do the East first. The West is so much more interesting. So do the East.
Okay, let me get East simple. Celtics, Bucks, Sixers, Cavs, and the Heat. Or am I going by top 5?
Okay. I'll give mine also. I'm probably going to.
As a state, I think the Heat.
Yeah,
the East yeah.
I pretty much agree exactly. Celtics, Bucks, Sixers, Cavs, easily there. And Heat probably.
Yeah, exactly. So
maybe the Knicks if they go on another winning streak, but I don't think the Knicks will get there either. So I think it's pretty clear cut.
Pretty clear cut. And then the West just different. For me, my West top 5 were Mavericks, Suns, Clippers.
Mavericks won?
No order.
Okay.
Mavericks, Suns, Clippers, Warriors, Lakers. So the top 3.
Okay, that's a heinous list. That's just wrong. But okay.
No, those are my top 5 best teams in the West.
That's just wrong. But anyway,
let me tell you what. Okay, Lakers, new look Lakers. They have the superstar powers, and now they have the team around them. Then the Warriors are literally the defending champions. They still have that same roster.
Yeah. But look at their record as the defending champions. They're one game over 500.
You're over establishing in the playoffs. Record doesn't matter. Once you're in the playoffs, you're in the playoffs. I feel like the Warriors are. And then the Clippers have like the Paul George, Kawhi Leonard. The Suns obviously, and the Mavericks have the star power. Like I feel like in the playoffs you need in a sense some sort of star power. I feel like the top 3 teams like Kings, like De'Aaron Fox, he's very good. I'm not being very underrated.
Sabonis is also very good too.
And the Grizzlies have on I think it was like a 6 straight losing streak to people in the West. I think the Grizzlies have I also could target now. And the Nuggets, in my opinion, have been a fraudulent team the past 5 years.
You think the Nuggets are fraudulent?
Yeah, and
why are you such a hater of the Nuggets?
I will say I'm somewhat of I'm not a Jokic hater, but I don't believe in Jokic at all. The Nuggets are very fraudulent. I feel like they won't make it.
Okay. So we're just we're gonna ignore that one pick just because Jokic is 2-time MVP, probably top 3 player.
Okay, so would you rather have Joel Embiid or Nikola Jokic on your team?
Nikola Jokic.
I'd rather have Embiid.
I'd rather have Jokic.
Okay, that's just a big difference. I'd rather have Embiid over Jokic. On my
Jokic's resume is way more impressive than Embiid's. Jokic is more productive than Embiid every single year.
Itself.
I know. But that player, Jokic literally is the Denver offense. You realize he has the highest offensive numbers of all time every single year. Every advanced metric is always Jokic number 1, Jokic number 1, Jokic number 1.
Rest in the playoffs. He's been what?
They've been waiting for Jamal Murray to be healthy for the past 3 years. That's why they're not it can't just be Jokic.
So you're telling me you think Nuggets will be in the Western Conference Finals? Yes or no?
If Jamal Murray's healthy, very possibly.
Even to say that, how could you say I'm being a hater? If you don't think the first seed is good enough to be in the Western Conference Finals, I'm not even saying win the West, just be in the Western Conference Finals. That's the definition of fraudulent.
I think the Western Conference Finals. If I set aside my bias towards the Lakers, because I really want the Lakers to be there.
Yeah.
Because I want LeBron to be successful in this part of his career. I think they could. I think it's the Suns and the Nuggets at the top of the Western Conference. I don't see the Mavs being close.
Wow. I think the Clippers would beat the Nuggets. I think the Warriors would beat them. There's no way you're telling me you hesitated when I asked you would the Nuggets be good enough to be in the Western Conference Finals.
Well, I don't think they will if it's just Jokic.
The first seed, Celtics in the East. That's a blind yes. Second seed, that's a blind yes, right? But the first seed in the West, you don't even think that they're good enough to be in the Western Conference Finals. They're not
I didn't say that. That's just not true. First of all, I said
say yes. Ask me a question. If you ask me confidently, you think the Suns will be in the Western Conference Finals? You'd confidently say yes. They're going to be.
Okay. Let me ask you: do you think the Warriors will be in the Western Conference Finals?
No.
Do you think the Clippers will be in the Western Conference Finals?
No.
Then who else is going to be in the Western Conference Finals?
Lakers and Suns.
The Lakers are not making the Western Conference Finals. I'm telling you right now, they are not. I want them to be, but they're probably not.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm very Lakers biased, so I always have hope.
I can tell.
I always have hope, and I think with this new team, there's some new people around it, we can figure it out.
Yeah.
So this is the championship team, not 2 years ago. So they still have the same peep core of LeBron and Anthony Davis. So The thing is, Western
Possible.
Conference, but if you told me the Mavericks in the Western Conference Finals, I could see that. The Clippers, I could like they're like 5-6 teams I could see. Like, in the Eastern Conference, in my opinion, there's 3 teams: Celtics, Bucks, Sixers, and there's like a gap, and maybe the Cavs on a good day. But in the West, there's like 5-6 really good teams I could see. Like if I told the Nuggets could be there, the Grizzlies could be there, the Mavericks could be there, the Suns could be there, the Clippers could be there, the Warriors could be there. There's like 6-7 teams that could be in the Western Conference Finals, and nobody would be like that surprised.
Yes, I agree with the fact that the West is extremely wide open. Like any of these like 7 teams that you mentioned could easily make it.
I'm willing to bet a lot the Nuggets won't be there. The Nuggets will not be in the Western Conference.
If this is the only if Jamal Murray is fully healthy, he's playing like he did before his injury, I think they make it.
And that's like the one team. I don't care what anyone says. I think every like sports person is like the one team that they don't believe in at all, right? The Nuggets are my team. I don't believe in them at all. Like I just know for a fact they won't be in the Western Conference Final.
Watch. We will see. We'll see what happens. We'll actually see what happens.
Because Michael Porter's been turning up recently. Michael Porter's been 17 again. Like they have a good team. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying I just don't see them in the playoffs making a big run. You know what I'm trying to say?
I know what you mean. I can see that.
Yeah, but
I think the Suns. I mean, I think regardless of whether the Nuggets make it or not, I think the healthy Suns is could possibly win the championship. Like they're I think they're number 2 after the Celtics.
Wow, you number 2 after the Celtics.
You think the Bucks are better
than the Suns?
Yeah,
I will tell you why. Let me tell you why I don't believe in the Suns. Okay, the Suns, first of all, they're not that Warriors team. When remember KD joined the Warriors, they're not that. They're not this unstoppable force that nobody can beat. Like the Suns team is very beatable. It's not like the Warriors team where like you knew like no one's beating them. Like if they're healthy, no one's beating them, right? The Suns, even if they are healthy, I do think the Bucks could beat them. I could see the Celtics beating them. I could see like they're a beatable team in my opinion. So I don't see the Suns like this as a force where it's like it's them. So like I don't think they're going to the finals this year, only because of blind faith in LeBron. But you gotta
have like analyst brain and you have like Anush brain. Like you need to be on the analyst brain right now.
Analyst brain. Talking about the West. Right?
West. Talking about overall. Sorry. I think the order for me is easily Celtics, Suns, Bucks. It's close. It's close between all 3, but those are the top.
In my opinion, it goes Celtics, Bucks, and then Suns. That is analyst brain saying that. That's not big granny. I don't think the Suns could be that good. Like they'll be amazing, but I do think the Celtics and Bucks will be better. Only because of chemistry. I think people understand how important chemistry is in the NBA, and the Celtics and Bucks have that, and the Suns will have to have 25 games of the regular season form the chemistry. So I feel like just based off chemistry, I think that's what I think the Suns and the Bucks and Celtics are better.
Yeah, I agree too. I think because the Celtics have been together for 5 years now.
Yeah, because that's the issue with the Nets team. Like they just put these people together, and then injuries, stuff like that happens. Like chemistry is a big thing. They haven't played together that much. Remember the Clippers team that was supposed to run LA when they got Kawhi and Paul George. Kawhi was load managing every other game. The Paul George was in and out, and then when they got to the playoffs, they didn't have the chemistry. That's why they didn't It's I feel like the chemistry is gonna be a big issue for the Suns. Not a big issue that stops from winning the West, but an issue that why they can't win the finals this year.
Yeah, but I think one interesting question about the Suns is going to be what is DeAndre Ayton's role anymore?
I think he's always been the 4th option now. So I think his just get boards and the occasional the center presence. I feel like the offense runs through just deep book KD, and then CP3 is just the point guard that just passes.
Here's my other question. Actually, we'll go back to DeAndre Ayton for a second, but KD's your first option easily, right?
Yes.
KD's first.
Yes. Devin Booker.
Right? I think KD, Devin Booker. I think they're both of their score. I think they're both average around 23, 24 points per game. I see that being likely. Where they both kind of.
I see 27 for both of them. I think Chris Paul goes down.
More what I mean to say is I see I don't see Kevin Booker averaging 22, KD averaging 30. I see them both averaging pretty similar numbers.
I think Book and KD will average similar numbers. Yeah,
I think it's gonna be a 1A, 1B situation as opposed to a 1 and then a 2.
No, it'll be 1A, 1B. It'll be a duo type thing.
Especially with KD coming back from injury, he's gonna have a lighter load initially. So I think in that time, Devin Booker is really gonna be.
Also, this is Devin Booker's team. This will be Devin Booker. You know what I'm saying? He's been there. He's the guy that carried into the championship. Dropping going 40 a game in the playoffs. So this is still Devin Booker's team in a way. So it's not gonna be when this KD just takes over. It won't be that.
Yeah. I think it was okay, let's put it this way. Which move do you think was like the best considering the situation? Like out of all these trades, Kyrie to the Mavs, KD to the Suns, the D'Lo trade to the Lakers.
Out of
I
all
mean, I
the
guess those are the three big moves. Which
yeah,
out of those
if
three?
I rank them, how good is for the team? I say obviously I think it was Suns. The Suns didn't give up anything. They didn't give up anything. Then Lakers, then Mavs. If I had to rank the three trades.
Yeah, I think I have to go with that exact order too.
Yeah.
I think the Mavs trade, it was good,
Kyrie
right? They wanted to
still
get
a very fraudulent, not fraudulent player, but as a player that's like very like in and out. He'll be like he'll be injured. He'll do this. He'll do that. Like he's not.
I mean, yeah, literally earlier in the season, when the Nets were under 500. Kyrie was out. Kyrie got suspended. Kyrie had to do a whole apology tour for his comments.
Off and on player. So I don't think Kyrie is like as good of an acquisition as I'd be like giving the Mavericks credit for. So
yeah, I mean, like I think every season it's pretty much been something. Like it was that first season was Kyrie Harden together. It was the vaccine situation. Then last season it was just chemistry issues because Harden actually requested a trade from the Nets because he felt Kyrie wasn't committed because of
yeah. So exactly. So I think the Mavs didn't like they've like improved a little bit, but they're not like they haven't changed like anything. I think they'll still like be like second round, third round team.
We'll second round. I don't think they make Western Conference.
Yeah, second round because the Western Conference Finals that's just so stacked. I don't know who it's gonna be.
It's not stacked. It's more like open, like any of the teams.
Huh?
It's like really open. You know what I mean?
The East, in my opinion, is Celtics Bucks. I don't see going any other way. Maybe Sixers, like based off like lucky injury or some shit happens, but like it's Celtics Bucks in the East. So
yeah, and also I don't know, like for the Mavericks trade, I think that what would have been way better for them is if they gotten in the offseason, like obviously they can't change it now, but if they had gotten like a better version of Christian, like a better big man than Christian Wood. I don't know who they could have traded for, but like I feel like that would complement Luka a lot better. Like not Giannis, obviously. Giannis is never going to the Mavericks now, but I'm saying like someone like Giannis, you know what I mean? That type of big man to play alongside Luka. I think that would have been a great fit.
Yeah, Christian Wood isn't bad though. He's still like a good 18-point per game scorer. Like, Christian Wood isn't bad.
He's not bad at all, but I think like okay, I don't want to use this example, but imagine like there were rumors going around at one point a few years ago, like Giannis going to the Mavs. Like imagine a Luka Giannis combination, right? Or Luka Jokic combination. Like that team is the best of the league.
Yeah.
Right. But so I think just like complimenting Luka with something like that as opposed to like having a backcourt
is player like we forgot about is Damian Lillard. He is, in my opinion, like easily a top 5 point guard in the league. Easily. And he's stuck on this Trailblazers team that will never be anything more than a first round exit. So like, I think I'm just like very disappointed. He hasn't. Like, why is he not requesting a trade? I understand he's not running from the grind, but like Damian Lillard could help out so many teams. Like if Lillard went to I can name like 6 teams. If Lillard went to, they become the best team in the league by far.
No, so, I agree. I totally agree. I totally agree with that because right. Imagine if Lillard. We're bringing them up again, but imagine if instead of D'Angelo Russell. Yeah, Damian Lillard was on the Lakers.
I think everybody would say they're like probably the favorite to win the West. Anthony Davis, LeBron, Lillard. I feel like they're the favorite to win the West. So
no, I totally agree with that.
Because every other team, like the Rockets don't have a superstar, the Spurs don't have a superstar, the Thunder don't have a superstar. These are the bottom teams in the West. Like they go in the East. The Hornets don't have a superstar. The Pistons don't have a superstar. The Magic, none of the bottom teams in any of the other conferences have a superstar player except for the Blazers. They're the only bottom 5 team that have like a top 5 player position, the top 5 player at their position. In my opinion, Lillard's like top 32 point guard. I think it's
I mean, okay, like even another team. Imagine if the Nuggets had Damian Lillard.
Yeah, exactly. I think they win the West. Exactly. Like, because that's what I understand. There's no other bottom 5, bottom 6 team has a superstar player.
Well, the Lakers do. It's LeBron AD.
That's Lakers are such and like I could like imagine if I told anyone, right? They have 2 people that you could argue are in the top 10, top 15, and they're bottom. Like that doesn't make sense. But as for the Lakers, no other bottom 5 team in any conference has a top 3 player at their position. So I do think Lillard's better than Kyrie easily. So
I think honestly, okay, when Kyrie plays, he's very good. But I think just because of Kyrie's availability, his ranking as a point guard should just be lower. Like there should be
I
an
mean, I
asterisk.
like availability. Even if like they both played every game, I still take Lillard over Kyrie. That's just me.
Yeah, I can agree with that too.
So
I can agree with that. But it's just Lillard's okay. Lillard also doesn't get talked about at all because he's on Portland. Like he's not helping out.
He's on Portland. He just needs to get out of there and join an actual contender team.
I totally agree. Like,
yeah, we talk about every podcast our finals predictions. So we try to end the podcast the same way doing the finals predictions. So
okay, I'm done.
I'll give you a mine first for the West. Okay, the Western Conference Finals will be Suns Lakers. The Lakers will win, and the Eastern
Conference with the Lakers. Oh my God.
I'm predicting. Let me cook. And the Eastern Conference will be Celtics.
You're not cooking.
And then the finals will be Lakers Celtics finals. Lakers in 6. No, Lakers in 7. Those are my predictions. Your turn.
So it's like that was like the dumbest take I've ever heard. I'm just gonna like ignore what you said. I'll give them.
I believe in LeBron James. That's all it is. I believe in LeBron James. Bro, this team is different. You don't have the vision yet. You don't have the vision.
Let's have them play like 10 games together, see what the record is in the 10 games, and then you can like talk to me again. How about that? Like let's have them take the floor together first.
Look, they're already beating the Bucks. This trade changed everything. They're up 4 points. It's a whole new roster. It's a whole new team.
No.
Your prediction.
Okay, let me give the accurate. So to close out we need to close out the podcast with some facts right now. Let me tell you who's actually making everything. Conference finals right now, it's gonna be Phoenix Suns, Denver Nuggets. Okay.
Wow.
Okay. In the West. And then in the East, it's going to be Boston Celtics, Milwaukee Bucks.
Okay.
And then in the finals, it's going to be Boston Celtics, Phoenix Suns, Boston Celtics on top.
Ooh, Boston wins it. I know I said the Bucks are better than the Celtics, which I do think they kind of are. The only reason I said it's Celtics to win it because the Lakers Celtics final would be pretty cool. So,
yeah. Bro.
And it's possible. It's possible. The Lakers have a puncher's chance. So
it's possible. It doesn't mean it's gonna happen.
Okay. Okay, if I fine. Okay, that was my my heart. Okay, look at my
brain. Yeah.
My analytical. Okay, it will be, in my opinion, it will be Suns. Honestly, Suns Clippers. Because I think if we get a healthy Kawhi, healthy Paul, healthy team, Suns Clippers could honestly be the Western Conference Finals. In the East, Celtics Bucks.
I can respect that.
And then it'll be Suns Bucks rematch, and this time the Bucks win in 7.
So the Bucks are just gonna win again.
Against the Suns. Yeah, but win 7. It'll be a tighter series. Bucks in 7. But yeah, those are my final predictions.
Honestly, that's not I can easily see that happening.
Yeah,
because the Celtics and Bucks are close. Like they're not like.
So, but yeah.
So, yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Anush, for coming on the podcast. This is honestly one of the craziest weeks in the NBA. Next time I will probably be talking about the All-Star game and that whole spiel. But anyway, just a really special week in the NBA, and look forward to a lot more content from us. And thank you so much.